have not much budget, there's a word that came up that they couldn't spell the whole word create. They only spell C-R-E-A. We ran out of money. So it must be ER. But by the way, I was told there's Spanish for create, so it's okay. So today, we have to see here telling you about the prison and everything, and how we have actually revolutionized nutrition with that particular device. Just remember, at the end of this message, or at the end of my presentation, what you are going to go home with is the fact that we are the only company that can actually demonstrate that our products work in the body. So it took more than 23 years in music that actually of innovation, investment, and so on, for us to bring prison up to this particular stage of development. It's not easy because science, as I'm a scientist, I'm still a scientist. Anyway, it's sort of, you cannot talk about science without doing science. That's the biggest difference in your skin. And I'm hoping that's one of the major reasons why all of you are sitting here. It's the fact that you recognize that you know. Since starting with scanner S1, it was more than 23 years ago that we had the scanner in Houston. And many of you, when we first started, if you recall what we said the new skin was, it was an antioxidant biophotonic scanner. It measures antioxidants. That's all we could say at that point in time. We couldn't say more. We sort of knew, from the science and from our thinking and our philosophy, that measuring antioxidants is very important, and it will actually tell you something about your body's health. But we never had enough scientific evidence until today. 23 years ago. What we did over that time, we have collected over 20 million, close to 25 million scans from over 10 million people. What you did not realize when you read the scanning is the fact that we also asked them about their lifestyle. We asked them, what's your weight? Your sort of nutrition diet, what do you eat? Okay. What other things do you do? Do you smoke? These are all lifestyle habits. And what we did, out of that, we have created what we call a database. I believe you know, I can understand Spanish. Steve mentioned about AI. One thing you have to realize, we cannot use AI if we don't have enough data to drive it, to train it. This is very beautiful. It ought to sort of realize that quite easily, right? We were all born with a brain. How come we were not clever as soon as we were born? Why did we have to go to school? Why did we actually have to put data into our brain? It's the same principle, right? And that's what we have done. We've taken that 23 years of data to train the AI and the algorithm that we have in Prism to be able to come up with this new claim, way more important claim, and that is nutritional wellness. Remember, it's much easier for you to appreciate when you talk to people, when you talk about their health, is to say, would you like to understand your body better about your nutritional health, for example? Isn't that somewhat much easier to appeal to a person and to say, would you like to know about our antioxidants? It took me more than 20 years to educate everybody when we launched a scanner what an antioxidant is. You're going to hear Scott Bennett. We may already have Scott Bennett. He was a little boy when he joined New Skin. He can understand antioxidant, but we don't have time now. We don't have to do that anymore. Because now the prism is going to measure when it comes out with a number, the value is an indication of your nutritional wellness or health. Okay? And it covers all those things underneath that. Which means strategically, you have an anchor in your business where all our products, whether the new ones that we're bringing out or whether existing ones that we already have, they're all being covered by this anchor, by this focus. They're going to be crystal sensitive. Now you don't have to say, hey, this supplement is good for you. You don't take it. No. What you're saying now with prison is, don't believe what I say. Take the product and see for yourself whether it works in your body. Not in the test tube, in your body. That's the difference. And what it means from this simple slide is that the nutritional wellness is related to healthy aging. No other company can actually bring you beauty from the inside and beauty from the outside. We're the only company that can do that. We are the only company that can demonstrate. That's the difference. Because all of you are going to be out there somewhat, because if you don't tell this story, nobody else does. And that's our differentiation in New Skin, and how we hope all of you will succeed. Because we're getting older. All of us are living longer, regardless whether you're in Latin America or whether you're in North America. It doesn't matter. We're all living longer. The problem is we're not living better. The gap between our lifespan and the healthy aging and the bottom is widening. What that means really is, frankly, is the fact that you're not enough sufficient reason to actually focus on this. Is all of you are going to be successful financially, successfully, okay? Do you really would be able to enjoy your financial success if you don't have, if your body doesn't age healthily? What's the point? That's part of what we do in New Skin. Not to just bring you financial success, but to also make sure that you can enjoy the success from the New Skin opportunity. And here is the prism. By the way, we can't spell here in Provo. We spell prism with a Y rather than with an I. And yet in Spanish, we call it prism. I still don't know what we would call it, but anyway, the prism obviously refers to the light. When you send it to a prism, it gets split into all the different rainbow colors we call it, right? And that's how we actually manage to measure the antioxidants in the body. We have, by the way, we are the #1 beauty and wellness device company in the world, not just in our channel, throughout the beauty industry. So here is hopefully the science behind the device. And this may not be appreciated up to this point, but I'm hoping when you go home, the prism is driven by two important things. It's not just about the engineering. The engineering is called a hyperspectral light technology. that we have developed with the help of this incredible team that we have, led by Steve Powell. And it's done. It's patented, and we are the only ones that can do it. It's reproducible, and it's wonderfully consistent. However, the device in and of itself is not as good without the Raman, what we call Raman data or Raman database, more accurately. That's the 25 billion people we have measured over the last 20 years. That's where we can correlate, using the AI, the meaning of antioxidant measurement with lifestyle changes. Lots of data we have. For example, there's beyond any shadow of a doubt, if you smoke, your score is going to go down, all things being equal, no doubt. If you are somewhat overweight, your score will also be driven down. That's why, with this kind of understanding, that we are able to now say PRISM measures nutritional welfare. That's the difference. Nobody else can do that because they don't have the 20-year-old database. How can you do that? They can't translate. Say, I can stand here and speak to you in English, but without Alex in the back, some of you may miss what I'm saying. That's what the PRISM is. It's a translation machine. In the United States, these are just some data, scientific data to show you there's not a single region in the world that doesn't have some nutritional deficiencies. Okay? That's the profile you can see in the United States. All of the bars, if you will, should be all the way to the right. It's not. You can see, depending on which ingredient you look at, it doesn't match up to the recommended allowances set by the health department. And Latin America, this is the data from Latin America. Yeah. You can see there is significant micronutrient, vitamins, mineral deficiencies in that region of the world. So that's on the science side. I'm hoping you realize with this kind of data, what it is translated to all of you is that this is an incredible opportunity. You have lots of people who will need our products, who will show on the PRISM. You do not have to convince people. You can show them difference in your region, no problem. That's the left hand, right? I'll just show you. And we have the data. We've done some of the scanning before with the S3. So, what kind of red side, if you will, on the map is where you don't want to be. That's a low score. That's very low. You notice majority of the folks in Latin America are actually scoring on the left side. Just another point of evidence, or point of proof, if you will, that what I'm telling you now, that there's an incredible opportunity to improve the health in supply chain. And the scanner should contribute and help. And that is what we have from the previous. We have a solution, like life pack elements, for example, right? This is our sort of superpower, nutrient powerhouse, if you will. Now that once you can show somebody there is an issue or a problem, you can actually provide a solution. This is our complete nutritional supplement that we have developed for your region. No doubt. And that's not all. That's not the only product. There are other products that can come in And all of them can be connected with a STEM opportunity. To show people, hey, by the way, if you're more interested in I-Health, why don't you take one of our products, the I-Health? And you can see, as your score goes up, it will benefit your I-Health. So it's a very comprehensive, that's why I'm mentioning the Prism is the anchor, in the sense that it can anchor many of these products that we have. All right, I'm going to tell you a story about music. I call this story the five smooth stones of opportunity that music has created over the last 40 years. You realize music has been around for 40 years, right?
Yes.
Yes. And some of you have heard the story. That's an old company in music. Why do you want to join them? There's no more opportunity left in music. Well, let's talk about it. This five smooth stone story is the one that I borrowed from the Old Testament. It's about David and Goliath, or David and Goliath. And David, if you recall, managed to slay Goliath with a slingshot. That was a smooth stone. But if you read on carefully, the Bible also tells you that David has 4 other stones in his little pocket. Why? The reason is he knew that Goliath has 4 other brothers. And he did not know whether he had to fight us. So he is prepared. So if I look at music, this is what we have done. Fundamentally, back in 1984, our first smooth stone was all of the good, none of the bad. Whatever did you hear? I can summarize it into this particular smooth stone. That's how music was built. A few years later, they acquired a company called Farmax, and that company came in and improved upon the science of put more science into the music product, and it became a science-based product. Second smooth stone. Then we realized we have to develop some technology or a platform that can help all of you to demonstrate how good the products are. And we came out with the biophotonic scanner in 2003. Third smooth stone. And then the fourth smooth stone was Asia. That's when we started to study genes, the sources of aging. Nobody did that. Nobody knew how to make anti-aging products even more effective if they can discover the sources of aging. We did. We discovered it at the gene level. That's Asia. That was the platform that we grew. In fact, we grew so much, it actually brought in cumulatively more than $10 billion worth of revenue into music. The fifth one is obviously the number one beauty devices that we have launched over the years, and they're becoming smarter and smarter. You now have it all connected. I know. Why? Because they're becoming smarter. We want them to be smart. We're going to do one stone better than David. We're going to give you the 6th stone. And that's the prism scanner. That's when you're going to have in your pocket to grow your business, to be able to help you to understand and see how nutritional wellness is. Okay, all these I've given you. I've actually written a song about prism. And I put it into music. And I thought maybe this is something that you may be interested in, because it explains prism hopefully even better than I just did. And Jeff tells me that you can actually download this particular song if you like it.
La canción de Prince.